Welcome back to the AM STS Podcast. This is Alton Cryer with my co-host.
It's your boy Jeremy B. Calhoun.
What's going on, man? So this podcast, STS AM Podcast, is a podcast to highlight the impact that STS is making in the community, bring on partners, student, alumni, and just folks in the community is doing some dope work, right? Doing their part every day to make mission happen, man. So we're excited, man. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know, I wanted to. I'm grateful. One.
Okay.
Grateful.
Okay.
I think the more that we do this work, the more that I understand that, you know, there are a lot of people who doing great work that are dealing with some of the same challenges that we are dealing with.
Okay.
I think it creates a level of gratitude.
Yeah.
You know, because you wasn't doing the work, you probably wouldn't care about being stretched because it wouldn't matter. But when you really try to do the work and you are looking for innovative ways to move forward, it gives you a level of gratitude.
Yeah.
Because you know that it keep you on your toes.
No question.
So I'm learning to just have just a better perspective or a different perspective of the space that we in. I'm grateful today.
Yeah. I love that, bro. And I think I understand the thought process of being grateful because we have, we got, amazing students, we got volunteers, man, just from a sustainability standpoint, man, being in existence for almost 13 years.
Yeah.
Like there are some things to be grateful for. And I think as you know about like this thought process of like accountability to make sure that we still being good stewards of it. And in the midst of being grateful, there's a level of like, we got to make sure we taking care of business. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, and I think the beautiful thing about it is that there are a lot of people doing good work in this city, man. I think now you probably hear more of a collaboration, bro, in the midst of all the noise that's kind of going on. I think the folks that really want to see progress and see impact happening in our communities, man, you're seeing more collaboration across the board because, man, collaboration beats competition any day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
man. And, this morning I had a chance to go to a training with different CEOs, and we talked about some of the challenges to being in nonprofit and just community engagement. So it was very insightful.
Okay.
But it also kind of gets your wheels turning. Like after you hear some things that kind of spark.
Yeah.
And it really made me kind of sit back and say, okay, what can I do? I heard some things. I'm like, okay, I never looked at it that way.
Okay.
And that community kind of allows you to kind of refuel you to get back in the lab.
Yeah.
But how was your morning? How's your day, your week?
Man, it was good, man. So I attended the City Current Breakfast Club.
Shout out to City Current.
Shout out to City Current, man. Jeremy Park, Allison, Andrew, Johnny Pitts, the team over there. I always enjoy those sessions, man. They always bring out great speakers. We get to always see our favorite Uncle Mark. I mean, he always there with his squad and his team. And had a really good speaker this morning. I got to invite some people out too. And what I enjoy about those conversations, one, inviting people to those spaces and getting people access, which Jerry and his team love. They love first timers. Yeah. Bring them out, share the good news. Let's bring people in. Let's let people know about what's going on. And I think too, they always bring a really great speaker, bro.
Yep. And
the speaker was talking about just the ability to have courage in the midst of chaos, right? And basically, she was one of the individuals who was in the race with the Boston Massacre, the bomb that happened in Boston for the Boston Marathon. And she just talked about her story and her experience, and she was a nurse and things of that nature. And in that moment, she wasn't physically impacted by the bomb itself.
Yeah.
However, she literally went to go serve and help people, like keep them alive, like bandage them up, because she's a nurse by profession.
Yeah.
And she just talked about how truly our natural in our frontal cortex is to actually have courage and is to have fear.
You said the who, the what?
No, are you?
Frontal cortex?
There you go. Yeah.
For real? Hey, doctor.
Bro, you asked me again and it left. It left.
I said, my boy using the
Oh man, you messed me up.
Amanda would be proud.
Oh, she would.
Frontal
cortex. Yeah, man. And she just mentioned, how in our DNA and all the good stuff that our actual first thing is to have courage versus fear. And she just talked about, man, what do we do in the moments of chaos? Do we run towards that thing and have courage to push through, or do we run away from it in fear? And I think, man, in this time and I would love to hear kind of what they talked about in that conversation, like there are always issues happening, no matter you in middle school, high school, college, young professional, retiree, there are always things kind of happening. But what will you do in the midst of chaos? Will you have courage, right, to stand up? Will you have courage to do the right thing? Will you have courage to maintain your moral values? Will you have courage to help another brother or sister? Or will you run away, in the midst of chaos? Will you run away from the challenge? Will you run away from the issue? Or do you face it? You face it head on. And I love that, bro. And I think, I'm sure y'all probably talked about a lot of issues that is considered chaos. And some people are either running towards that issue and facing it with courage, or some people's running away from it and moving away in fear of what may or may not happen.
No, you're right, man. I think the one thing I love that analogy of courage and chaos, because you can always talk about the chaos.
Yeah,
like
always.
It's easy. It's second nature for us when chaos, confusion, conflict happens. The first thing you want to do is talk about it.
It's facts.
But eventually, after talking, the conversation has to shift to action. And I think that courage it's almost like faith. Faith without works is dead, but also faith, it's a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Are you gonna act when the chaos or the courage? I mean, the chaos doesn't seem like it's gonna be solved in the moment.
Yeah.
Like, what's your action gonna do? Your action is almost a reflection of your faith. I think, man, that's dope. Like, I think we could definitely hit on that. Now, I would love for us to talk about that today, because man, I think we got some areas where we're trying to. We in some chaos right now. Fundraising. We're in chaos around. How do we prepare our students to be more holistic? We're in some chaos around, programming. How do we provide quality programming for our students while not breaking the bank or burning our people out? How do we scale or not scale? Do we sustain versus scale? So I think we have some opportunities right now that deal with chaos that I think we could talk through how we're going to be courageous and run towards the solution.
Well, the reality is we're not the first person to go through this. We're not the first organization to experience, chaos around fundraising. We're not the first organization to receive chaos around how do you capture your impact. We're not the first group to have chaos around making sure you got the right systems in place, relationships, etc. Like, we're not the first ones to do it.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is the reason why the Sixty Foundation created that space to have more conversations. Right? There's information and resources out there to assist. The challenge is, do we follow them? Do we read them? And I'm reading this book, man. It's about another industry. But it talks about real estate. It's about the real estate industry. But it talked about your foundational principles. You have to have those in place before you start to engage your creativity. If you base your strategy off of creativity, it's like a triangle or pyramid upside down. Right?
It goes so many.
Man, it goes so many different ways. But if you base it on like foundational truth and principles, there you go. And you can, and creativity is at the top, but the foundational principle be at the base of it. And I think one thing that we did, bro, our creativity and the program we can create, the ideas we can create, the different unique experiences our students can create, the people we get involved in it, bro. We had so many ideas and we led with the creativity, when in reality they said, okay, what's the foundation of your logic model?
What's the logic model?
You know what I'm saying? And we were like, whoa. And we had to find out that we were building something. And I think the beauty of, I think what we did was we truly did build it on its principles.
Yeah.
Like, we not doing this out of clout. We ain't doing this out of like guilt. We ain't doing this out of like, we doing this out of straight passion.
Yeah.
Right? And the call and the purpose that we feel like God put on our life.
Yeah.
So, saved by the grace is the foundation that we built it on Christ, on Christ, the solid rock I stand.
Yeah.
Right? All of the ground is sinking sand. We built it on that. However, I think there was an opportunity for us to say, you know what? We got really good programming, but why are we doing what we're doing? What's the impact of what we're doing? How many students we impacting we doing? And we had to shift and make a change once we got the new information.
Yeah.
A lot of times what happened is once you get new information, sometimes you reject it, thinking it's going against your creativity, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's trying to make sure you got the foundational pieces so your creativity can build upon it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
And man, you know, there's some organizations right now where they've been creative. You know, they got all the stuff. They got the processes. They got the people. They got the product. But they ain't capturing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an organization like our sponsor, V2 Media, to create clear, creative, and concise media for them, whether that's podcasting, whether that's podcasting, whether that's videos, whether that's any type of media, you know, you got a good foundation, but do you have a group like V2 Media to come in and capture what you're doing and be able to add a visual aspect to the great work that you're doing? If you don't, we want you to consider V2 Media our sponsor. You know, they got us looking good. All the edits, all the stuff that they do to make our podcast look amazing. It's because we got a good foundation with Uncle Mark and V2 Media.
Man,
so they want to shout out our sponsors, V2 Media, Clear, Creative, and Concise Media.
Yeah.
Uncle Mark,
V2.
what's going on?
What's up?
You see, I've been in the lab, Alex. You see?
I tried to dap you up, but I had to die. You let me hang. I was like, all right.
You know,
that was good. That's strong. I love that.
Nah, but I mean that is true, man. That foundation. So let's talk about some of the chaotic moments that we dealing with right now. Like what's one thing that come to mind?
Man, you know what? I think we've been presented with a lot of opportunities, bro.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of opportunities to continue our program in several different spaces at one time. Mm-hmm. You at this school, you at this school, you at this college, you at this program. And I think the opportunities to impact more students was amazing. However, you start to stretch yourself thin and your staff thin.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to impact as many students as possible. Well, I'm going to say our desire is to impact as many students as possible. Mm-hmm. However, because of our staff count and also from a capital standpoint, you got to say no.
Got to say no.
Right, man. We running like a $1 million organization, bro. You know what I'm saying? With not having that much reserve capital that we've operated off of. Now we've done okay from a fundraiser. We've done well, right? Yeah. Because we're able to create revenue generating opportunities for our nonprofit. And that's one piece that I would encourage. You know, if you're a new nonprofit or your organization, find out a way you can create revenue generating opportunities for yourself.
Absolutely.
Grant funds weren't always there. Philanthropy will always be there. However, the mission of how people give and what they give to may change.
Absolutely.
So if you create a revenue generating opportunity for your organization, you can always have some form of capital that you can continue to program and not relying on someone else. Yeah. Right. It don't have to be 100%. Just make it a portion of it. Yeah. And then you can leverage that revenue generating piece and put it and package it together to a funder and say, hey, look, this is how you create sustainability. Yep. And so, man, I think that's the thing for us, man, that, you know, we got all these opportunities, we want to serve all these students, but in reality, you really don't have the capital, the manpower to do so.
Yeah.
You really have this amount to serve this amount of students, and honestly, that's all you can do. Yeah. But the need is so great, bro.
Great. Yep.
You know, yeah.
Now, and I think it leads to a conversation we was talking to earlier, and maybe this may be good for other individuals who have nonprofits, you know, or have organizations that they're leading. Like at the end of the day, like, do you want to be an organization where you're spreading your impact and you're having moments and pockets of impact in different areas, or do you want that sustainability to where this is the area, this is the group, this is the place that we're going to do, the work that we're going to do. And you can see now a history of programming, a history of impact, a history of growth and sustainability that now you can really, like you mentioned that pyramid, now you can really get real focused.
Yeah.
You can have more data. You can replicate if you need to, because you've been planted in one place. I think sometimes we try to be in a million places at a million times when what happened if we just lock in on this one place?
Yeah.
And not saying that we can't move to the next place.
Yeah, no
question. But hey, now we understand what it takes to operate in this place fully. And then if we need to expand, hey, we can truly go to a funder, a sponsor with a number and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Here's the impact. This is why it's been successful. And if we had X amount of dollars, this is how we can do that in this space. And it doesn't create for a little many chaoses elsewhere because you left some areas of opportunity I want to say unmanned, and now you got chaos that's running out of control.
Well, the reality is, bro, when we come to find is that there is, I don't think there's one singular program that should, it takes a village to build a person.
It do. Facts.
I want to be very careful about what I say.
Yeah.
And so it takes a village to build somebody. And so for us to say, are we going to impact all these other students? Sometimes it's, we're going to impact these, and the rest that have a desire in this space, we're going to connect you with another organization. Or we do capture them, shorten the impact time, but they're also getting connected to other organizations and using STS as a resource or a connector, right? A pathway or a pipeline to other organizations. And we've seen value in that.
Absolutely.
However, I think the narrative has been, this is my student. I helped them get to where they're going.
Yeah.
I was the reason they did X, Y, and Z. When in reality, we shouldn't really take that ownership.
Yeah.
That ownership should be spread amongst the village.
Yeah.
Of, I helped them learn to tie their shoes. I helped them learn how to brush their teeth. I helped them to be able to apply for an internship. This person called their employer to make sure they can get in the door in the internship. This person helped them work on their resume. This person got them involved with an association that's dealing with the industry they want to go into. We should really be a village. And so I think the narrative needs to, I don't say needs to shift, but I would love for it to shift. For us to say, look, we finna make sure each student get at least 7 touch points of different industries and different organizations to ensure that this student has truly wraparound services to make sure they get to where they want to go. But
and you cooking. Like you made me think, bro, like, and we didn't know this going into nonprofit space, but like what you just said made me think about how does an organization that is designed to help the community become egotistical and territorial? How do, and we gotta ask ourselves that question as leaders that run nonprofits. How have we shifted from organizations that were created with the intent to serve? Now that service turns into ego, possessive, territorial. It almost like it's like a oxymoron. Like those two things can't exist. But when we've done it, like because there's such a demand to show your impact. There's such a demand to why should we fund you? That sometimes that competition, that drive to secure the grant, that drive to secure your sustainability, now make it all about you and not really the people you was designed to serve. And now that student can't get that holistic support. So you got a whole lot of people out here with cars, but they ain't got no driver's license. You got a whole lot of people out here with drive, but they don't got no destination. Because we did not collaborate,
Mm-hmm.
and then find collaborative partners that not only did a different type of work, but complementary work
Yeah.
in the process. So,
And I think there's I say this as, man, it's humble and also just still learning, that I wonder if there's an opportunity for those who are supporting organizations to look at it differently.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know if I can even say that, you know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to, but I wonder if there's an opportunity to look at support differently.
Yeah.
Right. And I think there's a few organizations actually doing it too as well. They're looking at, okay, what organizations are you working with collectively? And if y'all can bring some together as a package, we'll support that as well. So maybe that's what it is, because at the end of the day, we're applying for what's available and what the funder is asking for, or the person who's donating or supporting is asking for, right? Of course, if it aligns with the mission, so we're not dealing with mission creep. But maybe that's the thing, you know what I mean? Or just, again, create other revenue options to where you can do your own thing, right? Which in reality still doesn't, they don't solve the problem.
You don't.
Because there's so many resources in the city of Memphis, man, and I don't think we're in a place where we can be stingy.
Yeah.
We need to be sharing all we can share.
Yeah.
We could be giving, and also we got to have open hands. We got to have open hands, open heart, so we can receive what's supposed to be given to us as well. You know, one thing I admire about man, Keller Williams and just the company, man, they will share a model to anybody. You ain't got to be a part of the company. Here go the model. They wrote a book that literally laid out the game plan to become a multi-million dollar agent, $1 million agent that anybody can buy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would they share that? Why wouldn't they keep that in-house? Because if I have a scarcity mindset of, if I share this, I won't have it. Where is the that's oxymoron. Then I can't believe there's an abundance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think if we realize that there is an abundance of money available, there's an abundance of relationships available, human relationship capital available, just there is financial capital available.
Yeah.
Maybe we would move a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that may be the thing that we need to kind of shift and say, you know what? There's abundance of dollars. It's about to be a trillionaire.
Treating their company, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make, another trillionaire. You know what I mean? They're about to, you know what I mean? And so there are plenty of dollars available to serve our community. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean, another one that's good. Like I definitely love that. Now I've had to ask myself, Jeremy, are you operating with a scarcity mindset? And I remember I had this conversation with this lady. She fundraises for a huge college, and we were talking about, because that's one of our challenges, is just being transparent. Like, we're trying to find creative ways to fundraise.
Yep.
Like, how do we ask for your money without you feel like, dang, y'all always ask for money? Like, how do we do events that allow people to give, that allow us to meet the needs that we have? And I talked to two people over the last month, and one was like, "You're a nonprofit, you're supposed to ask."
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, man.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. It makes sense that we're a nonprofit. We're supposed to ask, but the pride, I don't want to have to ask. But you're supposed to ask. That's what we're supposed to do. But then the other thing that the lady told me, man, I'm gonna have to bring her on the podcast. Okay. What she told me, she said, really, her secret to fundraising, one of the things she do is not really about me. It's because my students deserve it. And the one thing that I think, like, even that we have not done the best job of is, when we make our ask, it ain't my story, it's the student story.
No question.
Hey, like, don't donate for me. Donate for the kid that needs transportation, that want to be here, but they can't get here. Like, donate because the students that we serve deserve the support. The students that we work with, they deserve, like, take me out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not the recipient of the dollar. And it made me pause, because I'm like, man, this is a messy situation. You always asking, you try to find creative ways. But you said you started off this podcast talking about the courage the courage in the midst of chaos. It's chaotic right now funding for nonprofit. It is chaotic.
Yeah.
People lose. I heard something today. We were at the meeting.
Yeah.
And they said there was because of funding, a group lost $51 million. $51 million.
Man.
So that's just one organization. So think about how many groups that are losing money. And they were talking about how they have about 2,000 members. And they said, like, they keep saying, why y'all keep saying y'all growing, but y'all still got 2,000 members? Mm-hmm. They were saying because as they go through their database, they're finding that as we add 1, 2, 3, 4 nonprofits closing. Mm-hmm. As we add 1, 2, 3, so this funding space is chaotic. But what kind of courage are we gonna have? Yeah. And she said, courage is to ask on behalf of your students. Mm-hmm. Like, it ain't about. And I've never thought about it that way.
And you know what? I think the reason why the reason why we probably asked on behalf of ourselves is because people were able to physically see us and see the journey that we've kind of made, and you can kind of paint the picture. And also there's a disconnect from more than likely the community they're giving to.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm really giving it to you because of your character and what you've created, with the desire and hope and trust that you're doing right for their community. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think it's both things. I'm not saying, you know, I think that's the reason why when people talk about STS, and we've tried it to like get it off of us, like, but they like, Jeremy Alton, you know what I mean? And we're like, hey, what about, and I think that's grown now, where we got volunteers and people in place, our board, things of that nature, to talk about highlighting them as the reason why we're doing such great work. But I think we got to get more people in the schools, in the neighborhoods, connect. They got to see these kids, bro.
Yeah.
They got to see it to believe it, bro. And just like we tell professionals, our students gotta see it to believe it.
They gotta see it.
They gotta see it to believe it, bro. Because if they don't, they may hear it, but what they seeing on the news, what they seeing in the newspaper, what they seeing in other, or what they seen in the past, or what they heard from somebody else, it creates a disconnect.
Yeah.
To where it's like, it just creates a disconnect, man. And so I think I would challenge y'all, man. If you really concerned or you really care about our young people, man, go see them. Go see them about them in their lunch table. I think the Memphis Grizzlies got somewhere you can go visit them at lunch or take them to eat. Go visit them in some of these schools where they got community conversations going on in the school place, where you get the opportunity to chop it up with the students. They got a full agenda laid out. You ain't got to think about no questions. You just pull up and talk to them, and you'll realize that back one of our panelists on one of our podcast hosts said, these students will love to talk to you. They once you build that rapport and that relationship, they'll share with you everything you need to know about them. But you got to see it though, right? So it's hard to give to something if you ain't never seen it. Now some people do, it just sits in their heart. But most people, they need to see it. They need to be able to see the impact. And I challenge y'all, man. Go find an opportunity to give. We got over 100 some schools here in the city. We got over 1,000. We got 7,000 students in Shelby County, in Memphis and Shelby County. Go find somebody to get connected with. STS is a pipeline. Literally go to probably Give 365. We got 1,000 organizations in the city that you can find to get plugged into the city. They get plugged into our young people, right? Bump all this. I'm like forget all that. We at a time right now we need to no more fear, but take courage. Yeah. Right. Go against what. Yeah, man. So I think that's what I would say, bro. And I don't want to. Yeah,
good. I think, man, and I know we about to wrap up. Yeah. I think one other thing that came to me just about the fear with the fundraisers, man. We never wanted to use our students as like almost like I'm exploiting them to get the dollar.
Yep.
Like it ain't worth it. Like their dignity is worth more.
Yep.
So I think that was something, but as we move forward, because we still want to continue to have courageous conversations for the person that's watching this podcast to figure out, hey, Jeremy Alton, I'm in the same, I work with a similar group of we got the same target audience, or I'm a nonprofit leader, but I'm going through and struggling with these things. I think we can continue to have these transparent conversations of how we're turning chaos into courage.
Yeah.
You know, and what actions are we taking to demonstrate courage and belief
Yeah.
that if we keep acting
Mm-hmm.
and keep operating in courage,
Yep.
the chaos will calm down
And create change.
and it'll create change. So, man, I think maybe that's the topic of the day podcast is that, you know, chaos leads to courage, courage leads to action, action leads to change.
Yep.
You know, and that's what we're doing. And we're still learning, we're still figuring this thing out.
No doubt.
But to have, you know, this will be my last word, but to have sponsors like V2 Media, Transnetics, Carpenter Law, and all the other groups that support us, our government grants, our corporate grants, our sponsors who sponsor our program. Those programs truly give us the backing to go do what we do so we can continue to not only operate in courage, but they also give us the means to act. So super grateful for all of our sponsors, our partners, and everyone that helps us continue to move in a space that's chaotic.
Yeah, and I just salute, man. We salute, man, organizations, companies, those who are supporting the efforts. You know you're doing the work. You know you're a part of, you know, Memphis moving forward. And our organization is called Setting the Standard.
Yeah.
And the reality is that we set the standard. You know what I mean? We don't go below it. We set the standard, right? We want to set the standard high. And so, man, we're excited for where STS is going. We're excited for what Memphis is going. We're excited for Shelby County is going. We're excited for the nonprofits that's going, man, continue to doing their thing. We're going to be excited for the young people that's going to create amazing change in our city. That's going to do some amazing things. And all it takes is us. One day at a time, one student at a time, one thought at a time, one action at a time, one action of courage is how we move the needle forward, man. So what we come to do?
Compete.
How we rocking?
With excellence.
I'm a boss.
I got more to earn.
I'm a student.
I got more to learn.
I'm a leader.
I got more to change.
How we winning?
On purpose. Peace.